Yeah, so I'm going to record to the cloud.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm here with, I'm Oscar Nierstrasz, this is Michael Wallace. We're having a Zoom together. We're going to look at some questions that Michael has on about GT.
It's
And
Michael.
maybe I can help with some of them, maybe I can't, but we'll explore together and maybe we'll both learn something.
It's Michael, by the way. My
Michael.
mom just took the E out for some reason. She wanted me to be special, but thank you.
But how do you like to be called? Michael or Mike or what?
Just Michael is fine.
Michael is fine. Good.
Thank you for doing this.
That's a pleasure. Do you have a particular time budget?
An hour or so.
Okay.
I mean, we can probably go longer. My schedule's pretty open, but I'm technically at work right now, so work late today.
Okay, so what would you like to start with?
Okay, well, maybe I should bring up my list.
Yeah. You want to share a screen so we can look together? And then I have an image open as well, so we can also swap back and forth if it makes sense and try and follow along and take notes as we go along.
Okay. Sure. Let me share my screen. Okay, so I have a little bit of a mess here. I was storing a bunch of stuff. You know, as I mentioned before we turned the camera on, I'm working on an animation tool in GT. Maybe I should show that first. And I want to do some animated charts. So start with, should have done this a little bit. GSN. So right now I have this little animation tool where we have a timeline, and you can drag this little thing back and forth, and it draws the whatever your timeline. So we've got positions and rotation. And this is not editable yet. So to make this up, I just made an example that has it just has like the say make a scene, and then you add a track for some named block element, and then you give it a attribute that you want to change as you drag for that track. Of course, position is fetched with the position selector, and then set with the relocate selector. So I had basically for every one of these what we call like attributes that you want to change, there's actually an object that says how to set it and how to get it. So there's like a accessor class right now. I don't know if that's the best way to do things, but that's how I have it at the moment. And then you give it the value that you want at that particular key, and then the kind of easing that you want it to do. So right now they're all, I guess, to bounce out. So this little blue square is going to bounce when it hits the bottom, and that's all done with easing. And then I guess there was one other example here that I did, and that this is a data. Well, it's an array, but it's a way of using an array as a binary tree or any kind of tree. The classic example is a binary heap often uses this as a tree, as a binary tree. And so I wanted to illustrate how the slots go to in that example, slot number 1 has children in slots 2 and 3, and I wanted to illustrate that for a video animation. So I wanted to make this a little animation. And then of course you can add more. You make it more elaborate. And so my 2 big goals were, one, to illustrate, just to get animation at all, but then specifically so I could animate graphs, because in my mind I see a lot of graphs flying around and I want to put that on the screen. It's somewhat difficult to do that in a traditional animation program. And then 2 would be charts. So like I have I have a script for a video that I wrote some time ago about the Collatz conjecture, the idea that you take any integer and if it's even, you divide it by 2. If it's odd, you multiply by 3, add 1, and then you get this weird behavior where it can rapidly go up to a very large number, and then but for every example anyone's ever looked at, it goes back to the cycle 1 1 2 4 1 1 2 4 1 2 4 1 2 4. And so I wanted to make a chart that I have a number of charts for that script, and I want to animate those as well. Like for example, the idea would be like I want to show like the line of the original numbers, just the number mapping f of x equals x, right? And then show that it splits into these 2 different polynomials, and then it splits into these 2 different polynomials, and so on. And then just like I have a whole spiel that would make so much more sense if I could show that picture on the screen. And so that's what I was hoping to do in the very near future. That's kind of what I'm working towards. And GT has some charts built in, but the only like line chart that I've seen so far that I was able to get working, it seems to be specific to a date range, and it's not easy to just like give it a list of numbers and make a plot. And so I thought maybe I could just go implement that myself, or I thought maybe I'll look at Roassal, because Roassal has all this stuff. And Milton, one of the maintainers of Roassal, mentioned on the Faro Discord that it supports block. So I said, well, okay, I'll try it. And then it turns out they're supporting the other fork of the other side of the fork of block. So I tried to get it working. And so far, this is what I got. So thanks to your help, I've actually got it into my image here. And then I can actually run. I made a little view here so we can see that's like their first example. And if we look at this, and get on examples, I run this, and many of them work. Some of them don't work yet. I'm not sure why. Maybe that just differences in the 2 blocks. But these were not, their examples are not GT examples, right? So if you look at the code for this, they all say, first of all, this was made in a morphic environment. So he had to go through and add this line to every single one of them. And then they just have this, and they're meant to be like things that you just, in Faro, this ships with a tool that you get this list, and you can double click on them, and you can page through and see the examples. You see the code next to the example. But anyway, so I got that running, and we got this, we got this, we got this, and then this one doesn't work for some reason. I haven't really investigated why. I'm just trying to get the ones that do work working. Some of the ones that look like they pass, this one, right? So they passed all the way up to like on the Roassal side, and then Roassal has like its own concept of all the geometry and has its own scene graph. And then when it comes time to, when I hit that button, that's when it actually tries to draw it with block. And it's hitting some things that are there in the old version of block. Well, it's a fork, right? So either the Faro graphics guys have added some things, or they were here and then they've been refactored. And the changes I had to make so far were in that category. They were things like the way you talk, the way you set the transform on a DL element. So anyway, so I was thinking one of the things that we could do is look at this if that's interesting to you. Try and get some of these working and just see like maybe what work would have to be done to improve that, or maybe in a more general sense, like try and so this is a button that is supposed to be something like a test suite, right? Like, it's a set of examples, but it's supposed to function as tests. And here is something that has failed, but it looked actually green, right? So this, which one was it? The polyline, right? So the box is green because the actual code in that thing works. And I have many examples. So these are just the examples that they specifically set to use as block. but they also have all these other examples, like this chart example here, right? So this one doesn't work at all, and it doesn't produce a canvas, so it doesn't have the same output. And I was wondering, like, if I browse the class, right? We have all these examples. They're not marked with GT example.
Yeah.
And so what I did to get the block ones working is I went through into every single one of them. You know, I did this in GT example, and then we get the example, right? So then it's error prone because I don't type well. I could obviously copy and paste that, but so I was thinking maybe if I could, you know, change the example tool here, maybe that would. Yeah, I think I have to run it again. Then I get the examples. Nope. Did I screw it up?
I don't know. I got lost where you went.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I ran the thing rather than looking at the example. Yeah, so now one of them is has this little box here, and I get this button.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe it might make sense to try and do as much as I can to modify this tool, or to create a new tool that would show me all the examples without you know, without having to type this line in, and this didn't actually work, right? So this, yeah, so this one actually fails. It says debug it. Yeah, I don't know. Does that seem like fun to you, or like?
Okay, so there's a bunch of things here. One, so Alex Bergel, the guy who originally developed Roassal, he's in Bern, so I see him usually about once a week at the university, because we have a collaboration with my successor at the software engineering group there. And I asked him about it, and asked him, what actually do you need to do to get Roassal working with GT? So he's not actively working on Roassal right now because he has another job. But he said that the key thing to get it to work would be getting these builders working. So Roassal builds these scenes with the help of various builders, and these builders are the ones that are talking to the lower level graphical layer. So without them, nothing's going to work. We had a project together with a bachelor student. I think I shared with you Link. This was an attempt to port part of Roassal to GT a couple of years ago, and that seems to be working just fine. That was Cyril Rohrbach's work, and I was just loaded it the other day to see if anything had broken with respect to the latest GT, and it's not. So there's nothing broken, and it's working well. So it's a really minimal implementation that was started from scratch, but it gives you some idea of what a Roassal-like implementation would look like. I don't know it intimately. I don't know Roassal intimately, and I don't even know Mondrian intimately. Mondrian was the first tool that that Tudor worked on 15, nearly 20 years ago. And we have a version of Mondrian which is built into GT, but Roassal is not working inside GT currently. It would be great if it would, but there would be some implementation effort involved. So I think if you really wanted to be ambitious and get it to work, you have to understand how Roassal is working. So you have to understand a little bit of the internal implementation, and go through systematically. I wouldn't even dare to try and get the individual examples working without spending some time understanding Roassal and probably looking at Cyril's minimal implementation first. And once I understand how that's working, then I might start going step by step. And I find it amazing that you got some of these examples working at all inside GT. In terms of making the tests or the examples into GT examples, rather than modifying the tool, probably what I would do is just throw in a little bit of metaprogramming and just add the GT example to all of the methods that have scripts in them, and just add GT example to them programmatically. That's not hard to do. It would take a little bit of fiddling, but you can just turn them into GT examples without having to edit it by hand.
I guess pragmas don't do anything, right? Like a pragma is just like information. Is that true?
Yeah, but it's part of the AST of the method. So there are two things you could do. You could, well, first of all, you need to have a query which will find all of the methods of interest, and then you can either modify the source code, so the text, or you could directly hack the AST using the corresponding tools. So I found myself in a situation recently where I said, oh God, I got to change all of these. Let's see how we hack this up. So I forget where it is. I'd have to dig it up, but it wouldn't be too hard to do. So that's something that we could work on, but I don't know what would be the most effective at this stage.
Well, I don't either. I'm stumbling around in the dark here. So my thought was that I would at least try to contribute this back to object profile, the company that is maintaining this now, with the hope that they might once they saw that it's working, other people might also want to contribute or whatnot. So I was trying not to fork, but so that's why I asked if these are like inert, right? Like if this doesn't, if I can just add this to their source code and it doesn't break anything, then that's fine with me. For them, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to break things for them if this were to be merged back into their repository.
Well, what I would do is, before anything is working, just for the experimental purposes, I would have a little script that would programmatically add GT examples so that you can work with it. So we were not modifying their source code, and it's just that whenever you need it, it's there.
Okay, I can go for that. I would definitely need some hand holding for that. I can probably get the list of method names, right? So that's for RS start example class. That is a class methods. Collectors, right? Collectors. Select.
It would be nice if I could load this package myself. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that we can do. So it's the repository is tangent forks. Roassal3. I paste that to you. This page is also in Git, but it's in my, again, I didn't want to add it to the thing, so it's in my TS-Pharo repository.
Is there a repo that I can load?
For this, yeah. One second. So that is. TS-Pharo. So those two repos, Tangent Storm TS-Pharo and Tangent Forks Roassal3. Let me just double check that I've actually committed these.
it's not tangent forks, but tangent.
One is tangent storm and one is tangent forks. I have like hundreds of repositories. I have several. The tangent forks Roassal3.
Okay, found it.
I sent them to you in the chat. In the
Okay, yes, that one I have, that one I have. Good. So let me try and load the first one.
This does not.
Okay, so I have, and is there an associated Leopard database that?
Yes.
Oh, yes, there it is.
TS Faro has a Leopard database, and I didn't want to put it in the Roassal3 one because again I didn't want to. But you're right. I probably should just like do whatever I need to do to get this working, and then once it's done, come back and say, all right, what are the diffs here, and then just make a completely new repo and just pull it in or branch or whatever. I thought it would be a fairly small set of changes, but I'm seeing now that maybe it's probably not going to be. Like the charts didn't show up at all.
Good. Okay, so I've got your TS Faro repo loaded.
Right.
And I have your Leopard database here.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry, I didn't even push that. So you might need it. You might need to pull. I didn't push those changes.
Okay.
So
yeah.
The page that has all the instructions, I'm just pushing right now.
Okay. Good.
Right.
TS Faro. Okay, let me pull that. Got it.
Then hopefully you'll see a page called "Getting Roassal3 to Run in GT."
Getting. I don't see it. Let's search getting. Oh, bizarre. Do I have to reload this?
I don't know. I've never done a pull on the Leopard pages. I've only pushed them. Did you load my Leopard database? You did, but
yes. But I'm seeing. I just see. I'm not seeing that yet.
I could paste you the whole markdown, and then you could paste that into a page. Too long.
Strange. Okay, let me just run the load Leopard thing again and see if that changes anything. Yeah, okay, that did it. I just had to give it a kick. Okay, I got the page here, getting Roassal to run in GT. Okay,
so yeah, the first thing there is it's built on Faro, so GT is built on Faro, and Faro comes with an older version of Roassal, so we need to delete that. And so this just you had a version of this as well. I had come up with.
Okay, so let me run that. Good. And then I load. Oh.
Yeah, you probably already loaded the.
But that I don't have. Load the local Git repos. What?
This was just because I do this often and I wipe it out. This is just my way of scripting, or my attempt to script the loading of all the repos in the over here, rather than having to press this button every time. I try to make a little script to do that. But yeah, all you need to do is just add the tangent.
Yeah, but I don't have that locally. So I have to fork it first. But can't it just load it from Roassal directly from GitHub?
Probably. Yeah, actually, that should be this right here. If you scroll down to method 1 for Metacelli, yeah, that should work.
I'm going to try and do that.
This might take a really, really long time.
Really? I did it the other day and it wasn't so bad. Okay.
I've seen it happen in like 2 minutes, and I've seen it happen in, well, while I was debugging it, it just stopped and didn't work forever. But even yesterday, after I got it working, it seemed to take a long time. I don't know. GTfull loads all the examples, and there are many, many, many examples. And so what I had done instead was to, I mean, you could just do this without the
CPU
load.
heating up.
Yeah. I guess you could do this without the load part. And
okay,
then,
got it. It's done.
Well, then you're luckier than I was.
Okay, so then what's next?
Yeah, so all of this was just my working around the fact that my instance did not do that, which just happened to be used. So this was just loading it all in here, and then probably try the examples.
Yeah,
because if you load a GTfull, you should have GToolkit as well. So then just try this example right here and see this.
Let me just make a note of this. We did that. And load the work. So we got that. Good. So now we want to have a look at, you want to find all of the example classes?
Well, they're not, yeah, all of the example methods, I would think, and add it to it. But first, I just want to see that you get this picture working. Does this work for you or not?
And where is that? In which class?
So that was smaller. RS block examples, new example 01 boxes.
RS block examples, and it's which one?
This is the very first one. Very first one.
You moved away.
Yeah. Every time I hit the play button.
Okay. New, and it's example 01. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, I don't get the block view. Let's look at this implementation here.
Try loading this package. See if this package is loaded. It's entirely possible I did not do this right. So it's also entirely possible I didn't push those changes. I'm not used to collaborate. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I didn't push those.
Okay.
Add block GTview and then fix the first error that I ran into. Right. So sorry. Let me just go ahead and make sure everything is. So these, this is the one I just changed, but these changes I didn't make. I don't know where these came from. Like something just in GT made these changes on my behalf, and I have no idea.
Yeah, that might have been an automated refactoring. I'm not sure.
It looks like it just stripped out a bunch of parentheses that were not necessary, and then but outside of the square self thing that I'm not familiar with. So I didn't check those. Probably doesn't matter. Let me just submit everything.
Okay, let's pull that. That's pulled. Okay, now I get the view. Now I get SBL border was sent to nil, so that fails.
For the very first one?
Yeah.
That's the second change I just pushed. So that was, see, how do I look at that? In the commits, is it in RS bounding shape?
No idea.
No, it's not. No. Okay, so this is a bug in GT. So I made a third change. What is the class that is coming from? Maybe you share your screen. How do I stop? Because I fixed this numerous times and it's not registering as a change in my list of changes. I don't know why. Yeah, so when you click the debugger on that, yeah, so right in that thing, so the fix for that was, let me see, so this is BL element. Yeah, that, oh yeah, so if you look at the frame, the stack frame just below there, it says update BL element.
Mm-hmm.
It says self BL border. Yeah, and it's nil. So right now, it's doing something if it's nil. So maybe if you open that, yeah. So you can put if nil as an extra branch on here. So if nil, or either before or after that, if nil.
Oh, so it said if not nil,
Yeah.
shouldn't be if nil.
Well, I think possibly in Roassal that is a Boolean, or just maybe he's just saying if there's a border at all, add a border to this thing, and if there's not a border, it returns nil. So I didn't check the case where there was a border, but the case where there is. Well, what I did for this, and maybe this is the wrong fix, is I just said if nil, and I just added an if nil branch to this, and I just said BL border empty inside of the block.
That's bizarre. Yeah, this is all in Roassal.
Yes. Okay.
But you made a change there, didn't you? So isn't that in your fork?
It is, and that's what I'm saying. I made that change, and it. So this is RS shape.
Yeah, and that should be in the repo Roassal3.
And what was the class BL border for?
This is in RS shape. That's where you added the.
So I don't have the change anymore, but I mean I definitely fixed. I mean it's working. I might have changed it in the wrong place. I changed it in the stack frame above that on the block side, but which would explain why I didn't. Yeah, okay. So I screwed this up. That's why.
Okay, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, it should be here. It should be in the Roassal side. Because
okay, so yeah, right.
I think.
Yeah, absolutely right. I screwed up because I had changed this before, and what I did is I screwed up and I didn't check it in.
So can you find in BL element border in your image? What did you do there?
Yes.
Because here's where I think you must have done something there.
I did.
You said if that's nil, then do something else.
Yeah, exactly. And BL element border. Yeah, I had done this twice. I did it once, and then I threw away my my changes in order to make this branch. And then when I reconstructed it, I put it in the wrong. That's why it didn't show up for me. So I said it was a bug. Yeah, I said ABL border if no BL border. Let me just
we should try and make changes to just Roassal if possible.
I agree 100%. I just I knew what the fix was and I wasn't paying attention. So
yeah, so a BL
so having removed
this self BL border should never be nil.
Right. So
looks like a bug in Roassal.
Yeah,
maybe.
Absolutely, yeah. So again, Milton got all these to work, and he told me that this was an experimental backend for block, or experimental block backend for Roassal. So this was working in the other branch of so I guess the other branch allows border nil, and then it just gives you none.
Okay.
But yeah, so having removed that change to BL element border, now I do get the same error. And I'm just going to just add that to the what was it? The bugger here, update BL elements, self BL border in there, self border, if nil, BL border empty. So I'll commit that and do this. I knew it made the change, and I didn't. I knew it was missing, and I didn't connect the dots and understand that I made the change in the wrong place. Okay. Order. It's great, and then I got to push it through. Okay, that's pushed. Test if it actually works. It does.
Good. And now it should work. Ooh.
You have it?
Yep.
It's not. I'm seeing an empty desktop here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. My
Multiple screens.
Yeah. I thought I should move it to another screen. And then I forgot that was not the one I was sharing. Okie dokie.
Okay, yeah. So that one change right there fixed a bunch of things, and there was a second change with the transform, and then that got all the examples under the RS block examples, or all the ones that work. That's as far as I've gotten.
Mm-hmm.
And again, some of them that look green. Yeah. And this one doesn't work.
Subclass responsibility. That is so bizarre.
Finalize.
Eh? Oh, that looks, so the problem is in here?
Setting the
It
text.
has nothing to do with Roassal. That's just should be just a label. Hello.
What I probably should have done is what I probably should do is have the Faro graphics version of this working, or not working, but around for browsing.
Only integers should be used as indices. What? Oh.
And index is nil.
Name of month M. Oh. What was M? Ah, I see. No, that's not getting me anywhere.
Well, you did. You just said M wasn't defined, but M is defined. I can draw on your screen.
Yeah.
M was defined up above in that block.
Yes, but I wasn't getting to the, where's the example? Blind.
One up. One line up.
There it is.
Yeah, M is in that 1 to 12 do.
It's an integer.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Analyze. What? Deal text paragraph. But isn't that a? It's an abstract class.
In BL text, block text.
Apparently. So it seems to be an abstract class. So where is it coming from? Single line text or multi-line text paragraph? So
What's the name?
somewhere we're getting an instance of an abstract class. So where is it coming from?
So, okay, so yeah, I'm looking at, I wish we could both share our screen at the same time. So I pulled up, yeah, I'll send you a link.
BL text paragraph, there it is. It came up RS block metrics provider.
Right, okay, but remember, this code was written against the other version of block. That's the problem. So I just
yeah, but I'm wondering to see where is it coming from. Yeah.
I sent you, and in that version of block, in the other version of block, finalize is not a subclass responsibility.
Yeah, because BL text paragraph is not abstract in the other implementation. Right. But that means, where is it coming from? Preferable class? Basic initialize. Basic new initialize. Oh, BL text paragraph new. Okay, there we go. That's the problem. So rather than changing this guy, we should pick one of the subclasses. So probably we want this guy. So I mean, if we change this, then probably everything will run. No, we probably have to start from scratch. No, there are more things that are not working. Preferable class. Oh. Let's just go, yeah, let's just go back here again. So we're still in the same.
Okay, so BL host renderer is part of block as well.
Okay, there are no implementers in the system. Also this. So this whole method here is problematic. So the RS block metric provider is doing a bunch of things that that don't work for us. Okay, as usual, no.
Extensive.
Does it have its own tests? Oh, this is where we are, huh? Yeah. Yeah, that's just GToolkit. Okay. And what the heck is this supposed to do? So BL host renderer is, what the heck is this?
What are you doing that you don't have tabs at the top of your page? I know I'm distracted.
Oh, because I'm in the debugger here. This is the debugger stuff.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I just open up in a new window. So
Got
I'm
it.
not getting any, this is not a GT world, so it's
Gotcha.
opening a new one for me, a new window for me. When I meta click. Post render resposable for the overall rendering logic. I have no idea what this is. Finisher has resized. Preferable class off-screen measure text paragraph.
I think what this is doing is creating a block paragraph, and then it's asking the block environment to tell me the size of that paragraph in pixels, or mapping points to pixels, and then it takes that information and builds this Roassal level object with the width and the height. It throws that away. It throws paragraph away, right?
No, I mean, it grabs the line from the paragraph.
Right, and line.
But I don't know what this is doing. So I'm just asking what happens if I, just saying, let me grab this method and make a note of what we're doing here. Okay. Let me see. And we're looking at this guy. We're trying to get it working and find several problems in boom. So first of all, what was the parent of this guy? Was right. First of all, because if I don't start making notes of what the heck I'm doing, I'm going to forget.
Yes.
My mind is a sieve. Oh, it always was a sieve. It's nothing to do with premature senility. Just first of all, is an abstract class. So let's use, what did we say this guy instead?
Single line.
Yeah, so let's use instead. Then doesn't understand. Is it? Not clear what it's supposed to do. Okay, so what I was just going to try here is, like, I have no idea what this is doing. So I'm curious to see is if we comment that out and keep running, what's going to happen? Let's get rid of some of these, too many windows open. Many years ago, I had a PhD student, David Röttlesberger, and he did some cool work on something he called autumn leaves, because in Faro, you tend to get all of these windows, and then to close them all was kind of boring. So the idea of autumn leaves is that they would slowly get old and wither and then fall to the ground. So the
awesome.
windows that are around too long, you just sort of, like autumn leaves, they will just die and disappear.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons that I found GT so much more usable. It's just the tabs and the Miller columns here.
So what's the example that we want? Rotated labels, yes. This works. Hey. Oh, Lord. Sometimes the keyboard shortcuts stop working. Oh, even worse. Okay. I don't understand. So let's just manually create a new text snippet and move it up. This one doesn't. Okay, so now we try this again. Okay, so that's progress of sort.
This looks familiar. So this is the kind of thing that I'm used to seeing.
Oh,
So yeah, open.
yeah.
Transformation. Yeah, so I've RS label. That's pretty much the exact same thing that I had to fix in the other one. So this is just probably you can just remove the word transformation there. But I just said a builder matrix colon self matrix SBL. So basically remove a lot of that stuff in the middle.
Oh,
Yeah, like yeah, so like get rid of this, get rid of this, and then just say just matrix self matrix as that, and then instead of origin and this, you say origin center. I think is a command you can send directly to the building. Oh.
So what else needs to go?
Yeah, let me take the way out. So a builder. Can you see this when I'm typing?
Oh,
A builder matrix.
no, I don't see anything. Where are you typing?
In a little zoom. How about this? Yeah, there you go. So I have to do it like one line at a time.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah. Can you see me typing while I'm typing?
No, no.
Okay, so no. So you just say a builder matrix. Oh no, I can't edit that. That was actually what I typed is actually wrong. A builder matrix, self matrix, semicolon, origin, origin center. I believe is how it works, and then maybe it's origin center origin like that, and then translate on that.
I'm lost. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hang on a second. So yeah, you can't. This is a terrible interface, but so I added a second line here. So this whole transform do can be replaced by, or inside the closure, you just say a builder matrix, and then you just pass it to matrix, and you say origin center, and you say translate by. Yeah. Matrix colon. And then self matrix as BL matrix as it is. As BL matrix. I didn't write it. Maybe it's center origin. Try center origin. Yeah.
And then we want this, right?
Mm-hmm. I think matrix, you need the SBL matrix that's after the word matrix.
Where?
Right here.
I see. Self matrix. Something like that, you mean?
Yeah, I believe this will fix it. And then wipe out everything up to the end of the block.
And that stuff too. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so the when I look at this, I see, to me, it looks like the GT side of the block fork has gotten much more advanced and like cleaned up a lot of stuff that was previously difficult and has not been cleaned up on the ferrographic side.
Okay, let's just.
Oh, nice, beautiful.
Whoa, cool. We also have to patch
I think every update DL element is going to have that problem. I bet there's a bunch of them.
Oh, not so many.
Yeah,
Are they all the same?
very
No.
similar. They're all
Uh-huh.
very similar.
And who sends them? Oh. Okay. Oops.
That fixed a bunch.
Well, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Result.
Result. Yes, sorry.
That one, yeah.
So this one is another, that's number 6. Oh, others. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Okay. So boring. So some of these, if you see the,
Yeah.
it's the usual nuisance.
Maybe we can fix that in the results. If we just said remove from parent, because I not the results. Where would it be?
In the view.
Yeah, but GT Live for in the GT Live. So how do you?
Oh, but
yeah, the very bottom one is the one I wrote. Self-host canvas element. This is forwarding like multiple views.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I bet
here
if you put
we
remove
should...
from parent, yeah.
Okay, let's try that. Hey,
yeah. Okay.
Very good. Okay, so number 6 is broken. Number 9.
Yeah.
Number
Position,
10
that's easy.
broken.
That's an easy fix. That's easy.
Yeah, I got some more deprecation. I got a bunch of deprecation, so probably that'll be fixing all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all the same thing. Okay.
Position just has to be replaced with relocate.
Do you want me to push my changes to your fork?
Sure. But I have to give you write access to the repository, but
yeah,
more than happy.
Here we have these rewrites.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where they're coming from.
So
there's something automatically being rewritten, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I think these are advices, I'm guessing, but yeah. Yeah. Do you want me to push those?
Okay. I'd rather not check all that stuff in just because I'm trying to like isolate what we changed and not what was changed on our behalf.
Yeah. So what do you want to do?
So just uncheck the boxes or
oh yeah.
Before
Sure. Now I get you.
I actually went into the view for that and changed the line that sets those boxes because I prefer to cherry pick the ones I do want. And someone else, Sean Denigris, was asking about that on channel on the.
Yeah, it's a bit boring, but. And these you do want?
Yeah, I think that one we did.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm surprised that worked. That's interesting. Because it looked, that one did that.
Oh, this is another one of these automatic changes, right?
Yeah. And I don't understand what they're doing. So
no idea.
Yeah. So
did you add me?
No. What's your username on?
Nierstrasz.
Let's find my settings. collaborators and teams. Okay, it might have sent a email to you. So I don't know if you'll be able to do it or not. You can obviously commit it to your local repository. You just won't be able to push it. May or may not be able to push it until you accept the invite. Oh.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. Okay, there it goes. Let me try. Getting more examples to work. And let's see, does this work? Woohoo.
Thanks. Let me try and pull it.
Yes, okay. So what did you say? This deprecation was easy to fix?
Yeah, the word see all those changes that I didn't check in. Those are now preventing me from merging in your changes. So I have to say revert on all of them. Maybe we should just check them. Yeah, I'm gonna just commit them, but I'll make them a separate commit so that we can say that they're something in GT added something in GT added. Get that.
Oh,
Then I can pull your changes. And then I think
yeah, the easiest thing is just to revert changes.
Okay, that makes sense. I went ahead and committed those, but now they're gonna. I think you won't be able to. Maybe you revert them, and then I'll push them, and then.
Nothing's happening. Now it's frozen. Oh, it worked. Why is that so slow? Okay, yeah.
Right, so I actually added those changes back and committed them, so pull them, and then now we won't have a conflict. Yeah, there we go.
Cool.
That's neat.
Hello.
I think if they're green, that means that you fetched them, but you haven't applied them to your. Interesting.
I have no idea what the green button is.
Yeah, so those are the changes that I just committed.
Yeah, but why is there a green dot there? I have no idea what that means.
It's just saying the status is that those are you fetched them, but you didn't. You hit the refresh button. You didn't hit the down button.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got those changes, but you didn't merge them into your local copy.
Okay. So what do you want to do now? Do you want to continue with this, or is there something different you want to do? We've spent a little over an hour already. Don't know what your time budget is.
I'd be happy to do this all day, but
I don't mind. I can continue like this. Was there something else that was particularly bugging you on the list? I don't know if there's anything that I mean, I'm not experts on any of these things, but otherwise we just continue with more examples and see what
yeah, actually let's just go on and
okay. So this guy's is problematic.
Yeah, I think that is going to be easy. Oh, no, that's the polyline.
Yeah, this is the polyline. It's not the deprecation. Oh, what? No, something's wrong here. Got too many of these. Oh, autumn leaves. Okay.
I think, yeah, it looks like we have a class called BL multi-polyline. I bet that just.
I just went ahead and it's missing.
Yeah, it's not there. I don't think it's a geometry anymore. I think instead there is a top level class called BL multi-polyline, multi-polygon and multi-polyline. And it just draws directly to the canvas rather than.
I'm not getting the. Ah, here it is. So where the heck is that?
I think it doesn't exist.
But does it exist anywhere?
I don't think so. Hang on.
In the universe.
I think that so I don't know how I don't want to like explain something to you already know, but you know, as my understanding is in block, you know, everything is built for composition, and so a block element has a geometry associated with it, and it looks like on their side of the fork there is a BL polyline geometry kind of geometry, and on our side of the fork that doesn't exist. Instead, there is just a class called I believe in where do hang on a second. I'm looking to see if there's anything else like that. There is a in BlockPack there are curves, but if I go into the spotter and I just search for polyline, what I see is RS polyline, and then I see BL polyline, right? So rather than BL polyline geometry, I see BL polyline, which is a.
I searched all of GitHub. 16 code results. Okay. What is their class? Block. Extension. Sparrow graphics block. Vertice size border. What? Polygon geometry. Its superclass is BL element vector geometry.
Yeah.
It's in standard galactic block. The hell is that?
Galactic? What?
This own block. Huh. Well, I do find it's somewhere in GitHub. I have no idea why it's not in our fork. Did you understand why it's not in our fork?
Not entirely, but like so I searched looking at ferrographics block BL polyline. I see a polyline class and it has an is deprecated method, and it's true. Then there's polyline geometry, which is what this is using. And I think in you know, I have seen in other places in the GT block, there are things like ellipse like there was a class called BL ellipse that is now deprecated and replaced with BL ellipse geometry, where that was serving as a component of a BL element. But for whatever reason, either they, I don't know. But so it looks like there was also a BL polyline class at one point that was replaced with BL polyline geometry. And I think on our side of it, we replaced that with, let me see if there's a BL polyline. Maybe they, okay, so we do have BL polyline. I bet if you just remove the word geometry.
That's what I'm going to do. I just want to document what we're doing here. Oh, method refers to existent class. Change it to polyline, right?
Yeah, they did that right after the fork. They said anything that said geometry at the end. Anything that was a subclass of BL geometry, they renamed that to have geometry as the last name. As a last name at the end of the name. Which which some of the classes were like that already. So it seemed like somebody on this side of the fork had the same idea, but didn't do every instance.
The heck happened here? Something. I have this weird problem that sometimes when I do a copy, the copy doesn't take, and I get in my clipboard the whatever was there before. Very confusing. Okay,
nice.
Looks good. So okay, we learned something. Then
so that's interesting.
Hello. Why is it not showing me result? Oh, here we get the deprecation, guys.
That's
what was the first one that we had? Okay, starting with example 10. So then we have, hello, I want the source code, this guy. Next, starting with method.
I did it again.
No, that one's right.
That's okay, you're right. Sorry. I saw one and I thought it was number one.
Get a number of deprecated methods. I can't type, never could type. Okay, so what the heck is the deprecated method?
Position. Position should be relocated.
Ah, okay. Okay, in this guy. Okay. We should use relocate should send date position. Okay, looks good. Looking good. That was 10. This guy.
That's the same thing. Line geometry.
That's the same thing as before. Hey. Oh. Okay, it's there. That's weird. Is it supposed to look like that? Okay, I guess it is. Whoa. That doesn't look good.
Do that again. The one that you just did, Donna, maybe. Okay. Look, it says help up in the upper right. What happens if you click that help?
Oh, maybe that's what it's supposed to look like. Is it? I don't know. Next canvas.
That sure does look like it's meant to be laying those out in space, though, right? Like it's all about.
Ah.
But the yeah, I bet even so that it's using that same metrics provider for the font to figure out the size of it. And I bet the implementation where you set everything to just or to not call that thing, it gives back some kind of like 0, and everything goes to the same place or something. I don't know. So I bet if we looked at the like the example running in Pharo of that first one that had the month names, I bet that's slightly different. Like the result, like it looked nice, but I bet it was slightly different from what the actual intended result was. That's my guess.
Good. Canvas element. This is definitely not what it's supposed to happen, I guess. Why is it disappearing?
If I had to guess, I would think that it believes that each of those so you commented something in a previous example, you commented something out about the text metrics. You changed block metric provider, RS block metric provider. That was the class you changed, I believe. Where you commented out the thing about the paragraph size. Yeah, extensive. And I think by default it thinks every piece of text is now 0 by 0, and then when it has, I know. Go back to the example, and at the very bottom of that example, it has the thing that puts the word help up there. It does something to the canvas.
This one.
Yeah.
No. Oh, sorry. I forgot to. Now we're.
It was Donna. Example 12, Donna.
looking at, yeah, let's get example 12 done now. Okay.
The RS canvas controller is what's the word help up.
At
And I bet if you remove that, then you see the whole thing. If you comment out that.
renders and then disappears. So what should, where, not sure where you want me to look.
At the very bottom of that method, there it says canvas at RS canvas controller.
Yes.
And that is what wraps the canvas in that thing that says help. It's a thing that it provides that scales everything. And I think the metrics provider, when you commented that thing out, like it still draws the text, but it thinks that every piece of text is 0 by 0. And so then when it's scaling, it's just going nuts.
Oh,
that's my guess. I don't know for sure, but I bet if you comment this out, you'll see that, that thing that flashed up on the screen at the start. I bet you continue to get that and it stays there. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, there you
go. Okay. But that's not good, is it?
No. But I think so. Yeah, we probably need to figure out the right way to do the extents.
Okay, let me make.
What is that class called?
Problem
Extents.
Used to be. Oh, what happened with our earlier change to, what was it? Why did this thing go red?
Block example. Well done.
Weird things. Okay. So the renderer. Known extent. Okay, let's see what happened here. Well, this is bloody weird. Did the class disappear? What the heck happened here?
It was on your screen just like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah. This is a bloody weird.
Some of them
class disappeared. The RS block examples class. Very strange.
Wait, like the other paragraphs all have blue links to that. Why is it? Yeah, that's weird.
No, because if I open this page in a new, see, it's all broken.
Huh.
Very strange. Okay, Roassal.
All right, well, we recorded this. We probably recorded the moment that class disappeared. That's strange. It's there.
Definitely there. Very strange. So at this point, I think what do we want to do? Shall I push some of these changes and then try and get a clean image?
Okay.
Do you want me to revert these guys, or wait a moment?
I think we're going to have a merge conflict is all if you don't. So yeah, I'd say only check in the ones you've changed because.
Yeah, but I can revert these guys, surely.
Yeah. No, some of them are.
No, those are the examples.
Oh yeah, you didn't touch the example, right? The only thing you changed in the example was that the one thing that I told you to change, and then immediately afterwards,
Yeah,
the
I can
thing
ignore that.
disappeared. Okay, yeah, so yeah, you're right.
It's definitely unhappy. But why is it continuing to think that there are changes? There aren't any changes. I just want to. This is kind of boring. You need a button at the top that can deselect them all. Probably if I went to the morphic world and used the Git tool there, it would.
Well, like I said, I commented out one line in the changes view that sets those checkboxes.
There's nothing there. Yeah, that one's good. That's good. Okay, let's just fixed some geometry classes and deprecated. That's hated.
Yes. Oh.
Hmm?
Oh, I guess that's fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like I was confusing Git behavior with subversion. We still use it much.
It's taking a while to resync. There we go. Now
Did you just go in and change the code yourself to get Oscar's tools up on the front page? Or is that your startup script?
that's in my startup script. So I have a repo that I load with my own no, my Leopard database is also in GitHub, but yeah, just add a card to the home section. That's super convenient.
Nice.
I do that with all the projects, and then just I had to add an extension method to GT Home. That's all it is. Actually, there's an explanation in that I added to the Glamorous Toolkit book. Home section. I just said it, the home section. So there's the explanation.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, once I figured out how to do this, I better add that to the book. So that's useful. So let's load this guy again. Do this again. And this is the one that takes some time. Time to run. Let's see how long that takes. 34 seconds. Okay. Not too bad. Yeah, everything's okay again. Bizarre. Right, so this is the problem that we had here. And at the moment we commented that out, it went a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that means we have a real problem there. What's this guy? That looks okay. Oh, there's another one of these guys that disappears because they probably have text in them.
Well, it also says help. It also has RS scans. I bet
Right.
that what that does is it zooms. So like, it kind of does what the in GT, you sometimes get a view that has those little zoom in and out box buttons, and that's their version of that. And I bet the zooming is just off, probably because of, maybe because of this, or maybe because of it. It just doesn't know the right way to get the. Until you actually perform a layout in block on in GT's block, the extent is always 0 until the thing is laid out. And I wonder if they've changed that. If it could be the text extent, or it could be the extents period. Off-screen measure text paragraph.
BL host off-screen measure text paragraph.
Right. So in their world, BL host would be morphic, and in our world, BL host would be gluten, the thing that just pops up this whole window. And I bet we just don't have the same interface.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see how it's implemented.
We must have.
Let's see if I can find it. Subclass responsibility. Yeah, great. Sending it, sending it, sending it. On the class side, be a off-screen instance measure text paragraph. So this is what I'm finding here. This is the one implementation that I find of this thing. Is that something that's in the system? Oh, yes, it is.
Your text paragraphs.
There we go. And so maybe we should use instead. So that's this guy. And how is it used? Self-measure, measure text paragraph. We only measure a text measure. Okay. And how many implementations are there in the system? Oh, there's a bunch of them. Ooh. Heck. Measure on self, Sparta. I guess this is the one we want. Is that crazy?
I think that makes sense. My understanding, the main difference is morphic is all about pixels, and GT's block, or just block in general, is all about points in space. So there's no concept of a pixel until you get to I guess it doesn't really matter. It would be measured in something.
That's an instance method. And next measure.
Self-render.
Renderer.
Oh, it's probably just because somebody didn't want to implement all the logic for dealing with true type fonts. They're just passing it off to whatever the renderer is.
Okay, but who's the renderer? Which renderer do we have to send it to?
I think you just say BL host renderer new.
You think so?
Or maybe. Let's try it.
Yeah, I mean,
that will give us a renderer.
I was about to do that, but I thought that there must actually be a renderer around here somewhere, no?
Right. There is probably a top level.
Nope. That does not work.
Okay. Who's wishful thinking? There are some measurement examples. Field text element measurement example.
Where's that? So what do you propose?
There's actually a class called BL text element measurement example. Maybe we can. Measurement, yeah. Hello world text. Exact extent, you mean? Oh, self-exact extent.
I need some water.
Text element with custom measurement.
Implements renderer. Who's space render? It's a damn trait. Where do you get the package named? This and what is it? Roassal3 GT package matches. Oh yes. It's abstract builder. Well, that's not helping at all.
No, I don't think this is a Roassal render. I think this is a block render.
So where are we supposed to get the render from? Aren't that many out there?
GT. There was a GT World Utilities. I wonder if you can get the. Actually, BL.
But it's a trait, so we don't know who uses it. Users. Morphic host space. Oh, no. That's not useful. Oh, BL gluten host space. It's not useful either. And how do I get the gluten host space? What?
Space, BL element space, just space on every self space on any element. Oh, but that's no. Hey, wait a minute. It's live.
That's not useful.
Yeah, that's the thing. So if I just create a BL element and I say self, and I go open up the inspector and I say self space, it says nil. If I look at the live tab and it actually renders it, then suddenly it's part of the current space and I can get access to it. So what does that mean? Space, we can get the code. So self space host does it for any block element, but only after it's been added to the space, added to a parent.
Okay, so here we are. Inside this guy, we got a paragraph. And does this paragraph self space doesn't have a space? It's an element though, isn't it?
Look at the hierarchy.
Yeah, I mean it's. Oh no, it's a BL text paragraph.
I wonder if there's like a.
This guy is definitely. Oh no, that's an RS label.
You could say BL host render current. No, current.
What?
BL host renderer current. No. Current
Host?
No, I'm not. It was giving me a suggestion that didn't actually exist. But there's got to be like something.
That's a world morph. No, that's.
I mean, we don't. It doesn't have to be. This is all working off screen. So BL host renderer, all instances first might even get us one. Subscript out of bounds one. No, it actually isn't. There isn't one. Interesting. All sub instances first.
There ain't none. Yeah, you're right.
All sub instances first gave me a BL Sparta renderer.
That's a real puzzler to me. How do we do the measure text paragraph? Okay, I'm going to try something else then. So
we could just make everything a fixed width font.
On Sparta. But that's implemented in BL text paragraph itself.
I double dispatch through a BL host text measurer to support multiple completely different canvas. Basic measure on, but you still have to pass in the measure.
Yeah, but what the hell is that?
Well, so I was saying earlier that the difference is that whether you have pixels or not, whether you're just talking about like abstract geometry or pixels, and I think that some renderers care about the actual pixels or whatever, or some might want it in inches or something like that if you're a printer. So like the units are probably going to change. So I'd say we just as a because I don't have all day, maybe just say BL host renderer all sub instances first. And obviously that's not the right answer for this, but default.
But it doesn't work. There are none.
Sub instances is what I said. So if you change it to sub instances, you'll actually get whatever you're currently using. Because there's a choice between Sparta and Skia.
That's a real horrible hack.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But this is a proof of concept, so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that froze my image. Oh, no. It's rendering. I guess we picked the wrong render.
Well, it did it. It flashed for a second, and they were all like spaced. The flash of text showed them all like laid out in different spaces.
Okay, which is the one that?
The one with the yeah.
This is the one we had before.
Yeah, way too slow.
It's very slow. But it is doing something. No, that's
You
not
get like a, I don't know if you could just instantiate like a Skia. Yeah.
not good.
Maybe what are the other?
Yes.
VL Sparta renderer is the only instance of a host renderer that or the only subclass of VL host renderer. But that has a bunch of, I guess, instance methods that are create Android space renderer, create buffer space renderer, create direct 3D space renderer. Wayland Xlib.
Pick canvas for surface, a surface. Damn.
Yes. I wonder if it's the all sub instances that is slow and not the text render.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We could try something else.
I don't do that.
This is really embarrassing. Yeah, this is not a proper instance. Because you have to create it in the right way. You can't just grab a new one. Yeah. That it I be called. Please note that it I be called multiple times.
Noted.
Okay, whatever you say. Oh. So what's the right way to initialize one of these? Canvas builder.
Yeah, but look at the big method you have on the left here. The very last line of that says text measurer equals VL Sparta space text measurer, new space renderer space renderer. Like, I wonder if you actually need the renderer or if you just want the Sparta space. Where is that? Initialize for host.
Mhm. Oh, it's a canvas builder. Yes, my mistake. Of course, it's silly. Where the instantiator? Canvas builder, that's all I want. Visualization. Oh yeah. Want one of these. But they're oh. It just initializes it. Where do we get the instance?
ABL host space make current. What that seems to imply that you should be able to get the current. I would
I really am not. I think it's time to let this.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with that.
I give up for now. I think I'm way at my depth here.
Yeah, we're in we're out in the wilderness.
Yes, way out.
But I mean, like that's a lot of stuff working that wasn't working a little while ago. So this is giving me hope that maybe with if we ask right people, right question.
Yeah, I know Alex is on vacation next week, but we might be able to grab him at some point and see if he could give us a hand.
Who is the main maintainer? Like, or is there such a thing as a main maintainer on the Think side?
Yeah, I guess there's somebody in the. Who are you talking to at Object Profile? Object Profile. Nick, you said?
No, his name is starts with an M. Milton. Yeah, he's just the guy in the Roassal Discord channel. Yeah, Milton Mamani. He just seems to be the spokesperson. He answers all the questions that anybody asks, and he seems to be one of the main maintainers of Roassal. But I was asking who on the Think side is like responsible for block.
That's Alex. The other Alexa Cyril.
Okay. That's kind of the impression I had, but I wasn't sure. So maybe I will ask him for some guidance here. You know, the other one of your name was on a paper I found a while back that was about automatically documenting Smalltalk classes, finding all the collaborators and
the work of Pooja.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, she did her PhD thesis on class commenting.
Yeah.
And we're also interested in Fink, seeing what we can do with having some better integration with some of the automated tools. So instead of having explicit class comments, trying to automatically find relevant Leopard pages or generating comments. Alex Cyril was looking at LLM, using some LLM technology for he just showed today some first little experiments automatically generating some descriptions.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've played around with them a little bit, but this is even to learn a little bit of Smalltalk. But I haven't tried that. But I would think if you just like pasted it in a class and said, write a comment for this. But yeah, I was thinking if hooking up that the results of that paper to this, if the code were out there. I didn't really look that far. It seemed nice. It showed all the collaborators and all the important.
Yeah, I think what you really want is you don't want to take it at face value. You want to have somebody who really knows it say, okay, I don't want to write this, generate it for me, and then I'll check it.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, from talking with friends who use ChatGPT, they use it in that way. They say, hey, generate me some stuff, and then they go over it and check and correct and so on. You can't just take it at face value.
With ChatGPT, if I ask it to write some code, I say, "Are you sure?" as the next thing, and then it almost always says, "Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. There is a mistake here." That's just part of my prompt now. Just, I've also given it some work sometimes by saying, don't generate the code, but just like ask me some, look at this and ask me any questions or point out anything you see is wrong, and then like iteratively have it regenerate and regenerate a summary of everything we've talked about until it gives me like a. All right. Well,
just wanted to quickly look at this story of the. So, are these the? Was it script? Are they all?
Yeah. So this is. I believe this is part of their example runner. And it's just, as you browse the class, anything that has that thing shows up as in their drop down, and you get to pick which. There's like a drop down in the pager, and you can page through the examples, and then you select through the different classes that have examples. It's really nice. There's like hundreds of examples.
No. So this is a compiled method. That's the AST. And add pragma. Oh, I've never seen that before. Senders. Pragma node. How do I get a pragma node? So, and let's say, and what is it? GT example. GT
I see where you're going.
is not. So we get 377 compiled methods that have script but do not have GT pragma. And let's take one of them. And we ask it for its AST. Yeah. And we can add pragma. That's what we'd like to do. And add pragma. Are there any examples in the system? Is there parse pragma, parse blah, 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 pragma. Well, this guy has a pragma node, doesn't it? Let's look at the tree. There's a pragma node. Are we pragma node? And how do I create one? Ooh. Okay, that looks good.
That's
Yeah,
an empty list.
Just pragma? No. Oh, How many implementers do I have? Right. So let's see here. If I get an RB pragma node, what is it? Selector arguments. And the arguments in this case would be nothing. And the symbol would be GT example, right? So if I do that, wait a second. Let's do it this way. So there's the tree, and let's do it. And let's oh, didn't do it. Thought I would have to add it at the top level.
Look at the tree.
Oh, it is there.
Yeah, I think the like because the source code has formatting and all that stuff. I wonder if it just stores it as a string somewhere. Oh, but you actually give it to AST as self. So
now, how do I get the source code out again? Let's see. Source code of source. Method node. And so once I get a new AST, how can I get the code out again?
try to reformat source. I saw it scroll by a second.
Format, reformat source. That looks good. Good idea. Yeah. Okay, but why is it adding it there instead of up here? And this is a string.
It just doesn't know what order you want it out of the
but I'd have to compile it. So if I have right, so now I need the class. So I could collect it's a compiled method and method class. So those are the classes. That's good. And for each method, I would like to asked, what did I do?
Add pragma and then
yeah, but where was the code that I had? Somewhere along the line.
Okay.
Yeah, this is it. Okay. Okay. Add pragma. And then that gives me a new ast. And I can then reformat source. So now this should give me a collection of reformatted source methods.
That's a lot of, oh yeah, because that was the one
Yeah,
you
well,
already
the first
added.
one is kind of stupid. Oh. Well, this is strange. Oh, no. Well, that's curious. I'm very curious about that. So the first one, its AST has actually been modified. No. Oh, okay. Ah, so it persists. But can I say recompile? Compile, decompile string. Well, reformat. Is it reformat or reformat code? Oh, self-ast reformat source. And that's that. So now what I should be able to do is say method class compile, and that's going to do it. But let's save these guys, right? Because I want to keep them around. Actually, what I want is just to try it out with one of them. Contents. First. No, but I want to keep this list around. This is
non-GT.
Huh? Sorry?
Yeah. I was coming up with a name, non-GT examples patch.
It's these guys. And this is the one with the tree that's actually been. What? Or was not the one? Which one was the one?
I think that was example 4, and now example 4 has been patched. I don't know how. But I think it started with example 4.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's there now. All right. Let's remove that. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so now we've saved that list. And now we can say well, as I said, let's do a test first. First, Okay. Oh. Oh, I'm stupid. Yeah, I just did the wrong thing. Yeah, it did work. This is what I want. Okay. And
Did you just delete it? The example 14.
no, I evaluated it, so it re-evaluated. Okay, so now if I do this, yeah, and oh, yeah, but it's the old one. Yeah, it's the old compiled method, which is an object, and it's still there.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So then what we do, yeah, so this would, running this will modify them all.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it doesn't even take so long.
It's a little more work than search and replace, but you can do so much more. That's
You see,
that's
here's
so
the
cool.
old method.
Yeah.
Because it's in the list, and here are the new ones. And now they've done them twice. Why is that? That's kind of stupid. Something's wrong here. Okay. Okay, so that's kind of cool.
Very cool.
So I didn't think it would be that simple, but I imagine you can do it a little bit more cleanly, but there's something strange here. Why is it adding them twice? So now if I do this query again, it's going to be empty.
Right.
If I do this query, then it should have all of the things that have been adapted. And so there are how many? Yeah, 400 methods.
Nice.
I have no idea how many of these are going to actually run.
Almost none of them.
Yes.
Because they all you have to explicitly tell it to use block, and none of them are doing that. So they're going to run, but they're all going to run for Morphic.
Yeah.
Which I guess is still there under the hood, so it can still run.
Yeah. But now I've done a terrible thing, because I've added all these GT examples, and now if I want to commit anything, did we do anything?
Oh.
No, we didn't, did we?
Yeah, I think we just looked around at
yeah, we were just screwing around. I don't think.
Yeah.
So as far as I know, there are no interesting changes. Yeah, this is just the automated stuff that I've done. What was this? This was the horrible. Yeah. You don't want that, do you? And the rest are all these examples.
Actually, if you could just make you made a note of that what you tried.
Yeah, it's all here. So what I can do is I can share this page with you.
Okay.
Whoa. Let's just close these guys. We just. Here's the store string. So you can evaluate that in a snippet somewhere, and you get the page back again.
Awesome. I don't think it. I tried to
message is too long.
Yeah, that's what I got. maybe a private gist on GitHub or something? Because I couldn't send it to you in Discord yesterday either. I had to, Discord had the same. I guess you can send a file on Discord.
Sorry? I know what. I'll just put it in Dropbox.
Okay.
Notes. There. Now it's in the chat. Oh, otherwise, what I could do is we have a Leopard, right?
Oh, you could add it. Yeah. Yeah, I can make you a contributor to TS-Faro.
It's in TS-Faro. Is that where you have it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I keep all my notes. So I'll just add you as a contributor there.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So I can create a new page. Meetings. So here, what I would do is just, where is it? I can clone the page as follows. Oh, a second.
Right.
Get the title of this guy, and then I just do self. There.
I think I invited you just as a reader of this. People.
There.
Thank you.
And
oh,
huh?
Interesting. I'm sorry, I was trying to add you to GitHub. I for some reason, like on the other repo, I had to like explicitly say that you could write, and this one it didn't give me an option. You're just a collaborator now.
Can I commit?
You can always commit because that's your local copy.
No, but can I push?
I think you may have to. I don't know. It says pending invite, so maybe you have to select it.
Oh yeah, of
waiting.
Course, waiting to accept the invitation, right?
Right. I guess
yeah,
that's
there it is. I got two invitations.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I didn't see the thing that lets you write, so I just said just ignore the first one.
Okay, it's there. Added the page.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This is great. I appreciate the help, and I learned a whole lot, especially at the end there about the modifying small talk. I'm gonna have lots to do with that. I'm gonna have to. Like,
yeah, I think you'd be a bit smarter there, but you can also, yeah, I mean, you can programmatically modify everything. I don't know if I'm doing it the best possible way. I'm not the expert in the guys who invented all these. This is all Don and John stuff. The RB is for refactoring browser.
Mm.
This is all the stuff that came from their refactoring work. But it's super if you want to do some simple meta programming, and just adding a pragma is super simple. So there are probably other ways of doing the refactorings, but I think this is, for me, this is the simplest thing that works.
There's even like Leopard snippets that let you do this kind of stuff, right? Like there's like a kind of snippet that's called like a small talk rewriter or something.
Oh yeah, sure. You can find that in the book.
I'm gonna have to take a look at this because I mean, so far it's like
Rewriting Pharo code. Yeah, I've used that. But what I found, refactoring test case. Yeah, I needed some help with something before. Oh, this is programmatic refactoring because there are tools like there's a whole bunch of refactoring classes in the system that you can use. And I needed some point to do some refactoring that I didn't want to do by hand. And the refactoring snippet wasn't enough to do it. So I had a quick look at how it's done. So that's why I made a little test case, but I haven't used it very much. But it is a lot of powerful stuff that's right in the system. And this is just, this is also in Pharo, so without GT. So this is all of this stuff you can program a whole set of refactorings. And as is usually the case, what happens is, right, you can, what? Yeah, you can prepare the refactoring and then inspect it before actually executing it. Just like with the normal refactoring, if you refactor something, you can inspect what it's proposing to do before you can check the checkbox and say go ahead and do it. Okie dokie. Before we close up, is there anything small that you wanted to look at quickly?
I think my brain is full. I don't know if I have anything small enough.
What's this? Keyboard shortcuts to indent.
Oh, that's easy. Yes. Well, I mean, it's just you can press Alt Shift and move the things up and down, but you can't. What did you just do? What are you doing?
Keyboard shortcut. Primary left square bracket or right square bracket.
Oh, okay. I looked for that. I did not see that. I found the ones that move you up and down, but I did not. Okay. Well, then that was short.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was getting started with getting Lepeter. That's strange.
Wow. Saved me so much time.
Where is it? Getting started. Lepeter. Started. How to get started with Lepeter. Right. How do I move snippets around within a Lepeter page? There it is. That's in the GT book. I added that just last week.
And it works. Okay. I have a Dvorak keyboard, so I'm a little surprised that it works. But thank you so much.
Anything else small? Yeah, that's complicated stuff.
Yeah, most of them are all pretty open-ended questions. Because I thought that one was going to be like go in and look at the inspectors and
no. Yeah, that's an important one to know.
I
don't think any of these others are easy though.
How do I? Maybe you know how to do this. So if you make just any example on a Lepeter page, and you or even just a snippet of Pharo code, you say 2 + 2, and then you change the little arrow that makes it open on the right hand side, and you change it to point downward.
Yeah.
And then you run it. It makes a little preview down there, and I don't know how to get rid of that.
No.
Yeah, it's just not possible.
Reopen the page.
Okay.
that'll always work.
that was the yeah, that was
that's annoying too. I don't know a way out of that. Yeah, reopening the page will clear the examples, but it's a pain. That's a nuisance.
All right. Well.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much for this. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, it's fun for me too.
And I learned something quite a bit. So. Great.
Yeah, well, I didn't know how to add GT examples either to those methods. So, but I figured it couldn't be that hard. It had to be there somewhere easy to find. I was so surprised to see add fragma. Okie dokie. Yeah. Then maybe one of these days we can continue the conversation. I think at some point to really make progress with the Roassal stuff, we're going to need help from the experts. So
yeah.
But it seems like you got a long way without their help. I'd be really curious. Yeah, and maybe look at Cyril Rohrbach's project. That might give you some insights too, because he did some nice work, even though it's just proof of concept. It has some cool stuff in it.
What was the main, like I had actually seen that paper before, and I did reread it again, but I wasn't really sure like what it just like as a general approach to how to take on moving the Roassal stuff to block or to GT.
It was a bachelor's project, a bachelor's student project. So the paper was actually the bachelor's thesis, and the project was an attempt to try and re-implement the basics of Roassal/Mondrian in GT, and to see what are the obstacles, how to do it. So he had the first proof of concept. It was a while since I looked at it, so that was a couple of years ago. So I'd have to read the whole thing again, get up to date on it. But
okay,
for me, having Roassal, having something more than the current version of Mondrian and GT would also be very attractive. Because there are all sorts of things that I'd be interested to do. So for me, what would be cool is when I view a Lepiter database, I use it for all sorts of things. So sometimes I'm doing things which are like a mind map. So I'd like to say, hey, take this subset of Lepiter pages and show them to me as a mind map. Or sometimes I have a whole bunch of to-dos in various states. I say, show them to me as a Kanban chart. And I can move them around and shift them, because I use tags to, I don't know if you saw that. Where's the sharing? Yeah, here we go. So in my to-dos, here's my table of contents. I've got it super simplified. Like I have 654 unclassified pages, but here are the tags. And I added some stuff. So if I look at the pages that have only a single word, then they're usually
oh, I see. Yeah,
they're a tag, so referring to something particular. So for example, MW, that's you, and I have a couple of pages that are tagged MW. But I also have tags which are related to to-dos, and all of those are either ASAP or do them soon or follow up. And then I've got little little snippets that I can evaluate to check. So these are the ones that I've tagged as to do, but they're not tagged as ASAP or soon. So I've got 80 things that are things that I'd like to do, but I haven't, they're not high priority yet. There's things that I say, oh, at some point I'd like to work on this. There are other things which are issues, and some issues are closed and some are still open, and some things are a potential issue. So a potential issue is a thing that, oh, maybe I should add this to the issue database, but I haven't done it yet. And there's some pages, of course, which is linked to that. Like one of these things is. So instead of trying to keep a table of contents here with all of my pages, like in the GT book, instead, I just have them organized by the key tags, and then I have various snippets that allow me to find things. So when I open this, it takes me directly to the ASAP to-do stuff. And there I've linked the things, there I have my to-do list of things that I want to work on really now, like preparing a talk for ESUG 2023 and other things. And pages that I want to work on the GT book. So these are pages that I want, things that I want to do to improve the book. So that's the way I'm organizing it. But what's missing here is a graphical view. So I have some things, there are some
Yeah, like dependencies map does something like that.
Yeah, there's self database. And I can view the database, and there I can have a map of the pages, but the map is really terrible. So I'd like to have a new kind of a map that I was looking at, which is organized by tags. So starting from the tags, I'd like to see how they branch out. This is actually very slow to render because there's so many pages. But it also, having Roassal to, yeah, this one wasn't, where did I have? Oh yeah, how to visualize this database by tags. Yeah, so Nier wanted to have the tag pages as blue. Oh, but tag is not found because it's not tag, it's called tag. And that one's not found. Oh, it's tags. Okay, whatever. But as I said, I'd like to have other kinds of views of the same Leopard database. So if I know that certain tagged pages are really to-dos, let's show them as a Kanban. And Roassal would be the right tool. Doing with Mondrian or with Block is possible, but it's kind of clumsy and painful. And this rendering is not nice. So Roassal does a better job of that. So here I've got the tag, like it's just a big mess here. I see no structure. So it's not useful as a visualization. So I think there's a lot of scope there for doing some cool things to, you were talking about dependencies, but there are other things that we could see better as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Yes,
that's it. I'll let you go. We've been going on for nearly 3 hours.
oh yeah, I probably should go.
Time for a break.
but this was great. Yeah, happy to do this again anytime. This was wonderful. Thank you, Oscar.
Okay, it's been a pleasure. It's nice to meet you, and it was fun.
Yeah,
and I'll send you the Zoom link as soon as it's the link to the Zoom recording.
Okay.
As soon as
should I mean, I don't know. Is that should we post that, or?
That's entirely up to you. I wasn't planning to. You know, I don't like long videos. I just don't have the patience to watch them. So I started watching your video and I sort of skipped through it, trying to find interesting bits. So no, I can't. And oh, the weird thing is, if I speed you up to 1.5 times, it goes faster. But it sounds like you're really nervous. I said, oh God, does that slow you down to 100%? Oh, you're nice and calm and so on. Speed it up. It sounds like you're, oh, I'm not finding this. I'm really nervous here. So, oh, no, that's not good either. That doesn't work.
I watch pretty much everything. This is my second channel. I do a lot of work in another language called J, the APL thing. And so it's very, very terse. And I started doing videos about that, and then I wanted to do like presentations, and I ran into this problem of animation and all that stuff. And anyway, somewhere along the line, I started doing live coding, and I do not like to listen to myself talk for 2 hours either. But some people like thank me, thank you for that. But I'll send you a link to what I think is my best video. It's completely scripted, and I've actually made a tool that lets you record like line at a time. One line at a time. So you write what you think you're going to say, and then, or you say what you're going to say, and then you write the script the other way. And there's no stuttering and uhs and ahs, and it's just like 10 minutes of one thing after another, and it's like my highest retention video on YouTube. I think it's my best work.
Can I show you something that I think is kind of cool? I'll share the screen again. Because I was working on these short videos.
Oh yeah.
And at some point, I realized, because to make a slideshow in GT, you're programming a class, and I was using the coder to code these methods, and it was kind of clumsy. I said, shit, you're a fool. You have this whole environment for multiple development. Why aren't you using it? Why is this not loading? Oh yeah, there we go. So what I did is I applied multiple development to the shorts. So where's the one? So the one of the most recent ones. No, completed. This is the ones. So now what I do is, instead of programming, I just open up an inspector on the slideshow, and I see the list of the slides. Sorry, let me open this in a new view. And what it does, I can see the slides, and I can see the slides with the text and the script. And I can also generate just the script, which is the text that I need to say. I can see the entire slide deck in one view if I like. And this is an extension here to the compiled method views. So here, if it detects that it's a slide with the slide GT slide pragma, then it knows, the compiled method knows that it's a slide, and it will add the slide and the slide with text views. But it can also directly go to the source code and then start editing the code. And this is much nicer, because now, before, I could never remember, well, where's the slide that is this one, and which one is next, and so on, because the class view is completely, so this view is completely hopeless as a view for editing the slideshow.
Because they're
the code is the wrong way to see it.
Yeah.
So I said, actually, in a few minutes, I had everything that I needed to have a much more pleasant way. Here I see all the slides in order. I can navigate to the source code, and I can see what the slides are, and I can see, and I can test them out. And I also added some buttons here. I actually added a spotter search, so I can search for a slide that has, which was the slide that talked about the spotter? Oh yeah, that's the one there. So that works perfectly. And I have some other, oh yeah, I added this one so I can directly go to the Git repository if I make changes, and I added a button to open up the slideshow so that I can actually play it. And the thing is, I was actually working for a long time just using the coder before it hit me. I said, idiot, this environment is set up so that you can apply moldable development to anything. This is a perfect use case. And it struck me how long it took me to realize that. And once I did it, I said it completely changed the way I was working to develop these slides. So now, whenever I'm working on anything, I say, oh, how can I apply moldable development to this? So I don't have to always be doing back and forth and searching for things. So that's the lesson that I learned. So now I'm applying it to other things as well. So slowly, I had the same thing when I was doing my taxes, because every year I was doing my taxes, I have all this data in Excel spreadsheets, and it's clumsy to try and extract it, and I have to do that by hand, and it takes me some time, and then I have the data that I need for the taxes. I said, this is dumb. I have a perfect environment for this. Just dump out the Excel spreadsheet as CSV files, load them into GT, build some custom views, and have everything generated. So I actually spent less than an hour, and then I had some nice domain objects with the views, with just the information I need to do my taxes. So you have to keep that in mind, what the environment is actually useful for. And then start really leveraging the power of GT.
It's very interesting. Yeah. So what is a? I really don't have time to go into this right now, but I would love to spend like another couple hours with you sometime just talking about how the slideshows work and everything. Because like, yeah, it didn't even occur to me. You and I are both doing the same kind of thing, making these, the presentation. I'll send you the one to, the thing. I'll send you a link to the tools that I've made. They're all for, it doesn't have any of the, J is a very command line driven language. It's very terse, and so you have, like every symbol on your keyboard does some weird thing to an array. So it's very much a presentation where I'm writing a line of text, and I've actually got a tool that records every single line of text that I type in, and even even like a keyboard macro that says, how did I, where did I pause? Where did I move back and forth? All that kind of stuff.
This is a talk I gave recently. It's the first programming language I ever used.
APL, all right. So yeah.
You might have fun having a look. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, Tutor sent us on Twitter, and I did see part of it, I think. I will definitely check it out. Thank you. But yeah, I'll send you a link to the to my, well, I'll send you right here. YouTube. It's my main channel, it's a Tangent Storm. And it takes me so long to make these videos, and so I just take 6 months and improve the tool, and then maybe make another video. But this is beginner J dealing. Oh, dealing cards. I'll send it. Chat. So this is kind of like what I'm looking to make, the kind of video I'm looking to make. But I wanted to add more animations and that kind of thing. I actually have a tool that does. So I hate editing videos. So what I do is I edit the script, and once I have it line by line like that, I have a tool that shows me everything that I want to do on the screen, and then shows the text, and then I can just hit a button and just record that one line of text, and then I get these like hundreds of little one line audio files that that make up my video. It just I made, that was the easiest video I ever made in terms of, well, now I just turn on the camera and ramble, but in terms of like a scripted video that did exactly what was designed and had was written up front. It was the easiest thing I'd ever done. No editing whatsoever. At the end of it, I just hit a button, and then I have a player, and I just recorded that player, and then that was it. That was my video. So that's what I'm trying to get to with the animation stuff. Because right now I'm limited to what text on the screen.
The other nice thing about having the script is you can upload it to YouTube, and it'll generate the closed captions correctly. You don't have to edit them.
Yeah. For a long time, I was, when I was live coding, my first live coding session was like a month of me doing that tool, the tool that did the tool for editing videos. And I used a tool called Descript. It's like an AI video editor that listens to what you said, and it gives you a transcript, and then you have the chance to go in and edit that transcript, and you edit it like a word processor. And then as you select a chunk of text and delete it, it cuts the video. And so it cuts that out of the video for you. So it's really nice, but it was so much work. I just finally said, you know what, if people really want to see this, they can just do what you did and put it on for 2x speed, or they can just sit and listen to it and whatever. Because some people were thanking me for writing, for putting these long rambly videos up. I actually watched one of them the other day simply because I had screwed up and deleted my image without saving and committing everything. So I had to go back and redo the work. And so I sat and watched it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Yeah, I wouldn't normally sit and watch myself talk for 2 hours, and it's not the video I want. But and that's also why my icon, it looks like it's all pixelated and crappy. It's meant to be.
Yeah. I mean, that's also why I had the idea of doing these really short videos. I said to Dora, we have all these super long videos out there, but, some people like to watch them, and I hate that stuff. And I also know that there are people with shorter attention spans. Why don't we do some short videos on each on a very precise topic, really concise? And he said, yes, 7 minutes. So, okay, 7 minutes, great. And then I started working on that. It was fun.
I watched like all of yours, but I right in a row, and right at the start when I started working on them. So yeah, they were very helpful. And then I don't know how much of I retained, but they were very, very helpful in getting more. Yeah, but I do need to go, but thank you, and I'd love to talk to you again about the presentation. Thanks.
Another time. I got to prepare too. Okay.
Nice to
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Take care.